Welcome to Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast, your podcast dedicated to all things Animal Crossing. Episode 189 is brought to you by Lucy Rosewood Ives, Jevin, aka Susan, and Elordrian, some of our newest Patreon patrons. This week, Nina, Sergio, and I are going to let you know what to expect from New Horizons in July, go over the history of a missing special character named Harriet, and discuss Doug Bowser's recent comments in regards to New Horizons updates. So to begin, hello Nina, how are you doing?
I'm doing super good over here. How about you?
I'm doing great. And then hi Sergio, how are you?
Hi Chuy, hi Nina. I'm doing awesome as well. It's been a good couple of days for sure.
Awesome. Well, that's good to hear. Glad to chat with you. This is my temporary recording studio, which may jump around while I'm just, I don't know, in between places. But yeah, we should be having a good time. No echoes in this room, so we'll be good.
Right.
Yeah, so I guess I want to get us started by talking really quickly about what's upcoming in July, and we'll probably have a little bit of discussion in regards to updates too that may be happening or not happening. So the first thing we have to mention is that there are going to be 2 new Nook shopping items in the month of July. I don't know if both of you have seen them, but I'm not going to say exactly what they are. I'm just going to say that one of them is going to be one of Nina's new favorite items.
Wait, I haven't seen them.
You have seen them?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Yeah, there's one. I saw it and I was just like, oh, Nina is gonna love this. It's gonna be an item just for you, basically.
Nice.
Man, now I need to look it up.
If any of you pirates out there are, just waiting for something fresh on your island, then July, be on the lookout for that one. I think they don't start right when July starts with these items. I think they had some odd dates for them. And once again, there are only, I think, 2 of them. One is a piece of clothing. One is an item that you hang.
Oh, I just looked it up. Oh, no.
Isn't it great?
It's
perfect for you, right? Yeah. It's perfect. Okay. So yeah, I mean, the rest of them are going to be items that are returning from last year, so you're going to recognize some of them that we see in the game. So it's not a huge thing. July is a pretty quiet time in regards to events and new things happening. The bug tournament is back. The summer bug tournaments in this game, they're June, July, August, and September. So July will be the second one. I actually was driving all day during this last one, so I actually missed playing Animal Crossing that day.
Oh.
And yeah, I couldn't get to it. So here I am. I missed my first bug tournament in this game. Luckily, I already got all the stamps for them, so it's not a huge deal, right?
Right.
But it would have been nice to see like how many points I had if I had could get a prize or anything.
They do
but
have good prizes.
Yeah, I'd really prefer the bug rewards to the fish ones. Some people are the other way, and I totally get that. But for me, there's some really good bug rewards that I want more of.
I know you want like as many spider webs as you can get, right?
Yes, exactly. I need so many spider webs. So, and the other thing is, like, I need to complete this catch 5,000 bugs reward, and the bugs won't. They're kind of the easiest one to do because you can just set up turnips and they just keep getting ants, so you can walk along the line and get tons and tons of points while you're playing the game and catching tons of bugs. So it's really the tournament I've been waiting for, and I'm kind of sad I missed the first one already.
I missed the first one too. Sergio, did you get to play it?
No, I didn't.
Wow, we're
all
slacking.
of us. We're being bad. So sorry. We're looking for new hosts for the show. I'm just kidding.
Look, I had a new update come out for another game that
That's
engrossed me. So I'll get back into it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a nice little pirate item coming to you in New Horizons, so I mean, I'm sure that's going to definitely beat whatever you've got going on.
Well, I also got to go villager hunting on Saturday, so that kind of went above and beyond my bug catching duties.
That's awesome. Did you find anybody you liked?
I did. I'm so excited. I got Daisy, the dog.
Oh,
Ooh,
cute.
nice.
Her house is so cute. I'm all about the house exteriors, so I was very
Hmm.
excited to get her.
Yeah. I'm excited to visit your island and see her there.
Yeah.
You'll have to visit mine, especially because we'll talk about that a little bit later,
Okay,
but I'm
okay.
gonna destroy it.
Oh no. Oh no.
And I have all these new villagers, like the new villagers, so you
All
have
right.
to
Mm,
come and meet them.
that's
Make
exciting.
make some friendships, except
So,
for Judy. She's gone.
well, when you guys get new villagers, do you like decorate their yards any differently, or do you just let them plop in?
I mean, I haven't been just because, like, I've gone over this in the past and why I'm kind of like inspired to re-terraform at the moment, but it's
Mm-hmm.
basically like the spaces my homes are in are so small that it's tough to really put a
Mm.
lot of character to
Yeah,
them.
that's true.
I can put a few pieces and it does like do something, but I think just overall I don't feel like it's too worth it at the moment because I just don't have a lot of room to really
Mm,
deck it out.
yeah.
That said, the only house that really has a lot of space is the beach area house, and kind of up at the top where Deirdre lives, but Deirdre's been a staple there for a long time, so I haven't had to
Right.
change her
Right.
exterior.
Mm,
Um, but the beach house, that one, I mean, I haven't done it yet, but it does have the room for me to mess with it if I wanted.
nice. Nice.
Nice.
That's always my first thing I do. I love to change up their yards to their personalities if I get somebody new.
Hmm.
Right, right. That helps. I like to at least put items that match their color. You know that
Yeah.
like the what is it, a half wheel that it's buried on the ground that it's for sitting? I
Oh
have
yeah.
one of those next to each house, and that one definitely has to match the villager color. That one at least, and then if I can change a couple more items, I go for it just for the color.
Cute.
That's fun. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of nice to have like a shared item across your island
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. So yeah, I mean, summer bug tournament one has just happened literally this past weekend. There's another one coming in July, and once again, those are all summer, so you'll see them in August and September as well. The other thing that's happening that's pretty big for a lot of Animal Crossing players is, especially those in the northern hemisphere, I should say, the new bugs and fish for
Mm.
each hemisphere are happening. The summer ones are, of course, like you get the big palm tree bugs,
Oh yeah.
a lot of rare fish are out in the ocean.
Yeah.
So if you're like me and you're trying to get three of everything so you can get all those models made, you're going to be a very busy person in July. July and August, especially, because a lot of them are just those 2 months. So
Mm.
Ooh.
now's your chance to really get that list out, write down who you need, what you need to catch, and get on that. That's what I do at least. But I'm excited because the past like June, I played more, I would say, than I did in, I guess, the month before, May, right? And it was mostly because, I was streaming, but I was also like on the mission to catch a lot of these in-season bugs that I need in order to finish my models. And I'm just about there. There's two more fish that I need to catch. One of them's year round, what's that little tiny deep sea fish? The barrel eye. So
Mm.
that one is one that I'm missing, and then the saddled Bashir, or I don't know how to
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
say it.
I think that's right.
Um,
Yeah.
oh, okay, well, cool. That one. But yeah, now that all the new palm tree bugs are gonna be out, oh, I'm gonna be
Yeah.
busy on those islands.
Man,
So
exciting. And I really like the barrel eye.
yeah, it's a cool one. I've only caught two this entire playthrough. One for the museum and one
Oh,
is in
Oh.
my closet. So
very
I need to
cool.
catch two more
Two
Right.
at
more.
least to complete those.
You can do it.
Yeah, yeah. I love the four of everything thing. It's just a fun little task that keeps me going in this game. But yeah, outside of that, no update thus far. A lot of people were expecting one to get announced in June, same as I, but I had no idea that there were two new items in July, so it's looking like the end of July might be the next
Mm.
update, especially with August coming up. We're going to have the fireworks put into the game. And I mean, basically how the game's updates work is they add the events and then they take them out right after.
Right.
So you can't travel forward to these events. So they have to keep updating the game. As long as they keep removing the holidays, you can rest assured that there's going to be an update of some sort. And rest assured that a lot of people are not going to be happy with what it is. Because they are going to be probably just event focused and probably just to add just a few items from the Nook shopping section.
Right.
I had no
Yeah.
idea that well, I still have to test it out, but I know you can't time travel forward to these events, but we haven't tested out yet if we can time travel backwards. Like if you missed Halloween, can you go and play Halloween?
I thought you could in the past, but I haven't checked in so long that I don't know anymore. But basically, that was kind of how it worked before. Like you could travel back to a holiday, but you couldn't travel forward to it. So I'm not sure how it works now. So that could be outdated information now.
Interesting. So we'll see. I mean, I will talk about this more when it gets closer to August, but what is it? Fireworks every Sunday night in August? So
Yeah.
maybe they'll be exactly the same. Maybe they'll be different.
It's Animal Cross Sundays. They're back.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's basically what's coming up in July. Probably at the end of the month we're gonna see what is up next for Animal Crossing. Personally, I don't think it's gonna be anything too big thus far, but I'm open for surprises because this is gonna be a really long gap between updates. When was the last one announced
Oh, man.
/ taken into effect? Was it April now?
Which update was
Wasn't it like no, you might be right. I was thinking March, the Mario one, but I think there was a minor one after that.
I think there was it was basically this like spring
Right.
summer update, the one that added May Day. It must have happened end of
Yes.
April.
Oh,
Yes.
Mayday.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically we're looking at end of April. We got the update. April,
Right.
May, June, July. That's 4 full months without anything really new. So
And adding the art gallery to the museum day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Museum Day too. Yeah.
Hmm.
So, I mean, if they have given themselves a big gap like this, I'm hoping possibly they had some time to work on something else, but I'm leaning toward we're gonna see another small update to the events this time around.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
Well, we'll see what happens when it gets there. But for now, let's go ahead and take a look back at some other characters in Animal Crossing that have not made a return to New Horizons. So, we have highlighted a couple characters in the past. We talked about Brewster and Gracie. Brewster, of course, we had to cover. He's one of the most wanted in this game by far. And then Gracie was just, a personal pick of mine. But lately, I've also been thinking a lot about Harriet. So for those of you who are new, at least to Animal Crossing, New Horizons was your first game, you probably don't know who Harriet was, but Harriet was a pink little poodle who ran Shampoodle, their little hair salon, and they were basically how you changed your hair. It kind of had some face features, but not really. It was a weird way. We'll get into that. But a little background on her. Her birthday is January 31st, so just the end of the first month. And her favorite saying is, "Fine hair makes fine animals."
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah, it's really rare to see their the favorite phrases for the special characters because it's so hard to get their photos, so a lot of this comes out in like more recent information. Like it's a little bit easier to see these things when you scan them in, get their poster. For example, Harriet, she won't show up if you scan her in at Harv's, but you will get the poster of her face.
Cute.
Yeah, there's something in there at least.
I always
So
liked her apron too because it had like the
mhm,
French flag kind of on it. So I
mhm.
don't know. I always thought that she was like a really fancy poodle, shampoodle shop. Like her haircuts were the best because she was trained in France.
Yeah, and I think it's also kind of a callback to those like barber shop poles, right?
Yeah.
The ones that kind of
Hmm.
spin and have the three colors, the red, white, and blue.
Yes.
So
Um,
cute.
so yeah, I've always really liked her. She's a really cute character for sure. So she first appeared in Wild World. So this is the second Animal Crossing game, and I mean it's more complicated than that, but for the case here, second Animal Crossing game. You cannot get her until you upgrade the store all the way to Nookington. So once that store is upgraded, she does open up her own shop inside. She'll be downstairs, and it's called the Shampoodle. And you can get one haircut per day for 3,000 bells. So pricey haircut, but yeah, and very limited. You really had to wait a whole day before
Yeah.
you could
Hmm.
get your hair done again. So it was a pain for the day if you just got something you didn't like. Apparently, my base personality is spiky hair. That's always the what I would get whenever I did the questionnaire on my own, you know? So I should tell you about that a little bit. Instead of looking in a mirror and picking how your character looks, you actually answer a bit about your personality. She'll ask you some questions, and depending on your answers, you'll get a wide variety of different haircuts. And some of them are really great, and others are not. You can also get a different color for them depending on your answers as well. So there, it was, I guess, a pretty slow way of getting your hair done, but it was filled with like a lot of charm and just personality whenever you went through
Hmm.
that process as well. Now, it's convenient, but that's kind of the sacrifice that gets made for convenience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
So
often did you guys look up like guides for this, or did you just go in and answer her questions blindly?
with Wild World specifically, I remember this might have been before I had any idea that I could use the internet for that type of information. So I probably just did it on my own and discovered what haircuts I could get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How about you, Sergio?
Yeah. You know what I'm thinking? Back in Wild World, I think that default hairstyle that I had was my favorite. So I don't think I even ever tried it. I was scared of getting
Wow.
something I wouldn't like.
Wow.
That's funny. Yeah. I mean, I did it all the time because I tried it once and I got something I didn't like, and I
Yeah.
was like,
No, you're
all
stuck.
right.
Yeah.
And I'm the type of person who goes with like I'm gonna go with my personality, like what I would answer the
Right.
first time, and
Yes.
then after that, I would go systemically and be like, all right,
Oh,
all the way
Oh.
across. Then I'll be like, okay, now I'll try B.
right.
Now B, and I'll just like do that until I've tried
Oh
every
man.
option.
Oh man. I would like do it the first time just to see if my personality would match with the hairstyle and then usually get burned with
Yes,
like the most
exactly.
Mm,
awful hairstyle and then would look it up from then on. But I always would kind of change it. I always like in the end settle on a look, but for the first few months of playing would kind of change it up a bunch actually.
hmm Yeah, that reminds me. There's this line in Bee and Puppy Cat in one of the cartoons where Puppy Cat says, "Finally, I can look as cool on the outside as I do on the inside."
Ah.
And then I think of Animal Crossing and the haircuts I get, and I'm like, man, I just don't look cool on the inside. I'm a dweeb. Yeah. So fun little fact in Wild World. A lot of the special characters can visit the roost at certain hours of the day, whether it's like Pelly or Phyllis switching their shifts between the day
Mhm.
shift and the night shift. You might catch one of them getting a cup of coffee before going in to work. But um, Harriet will actually appear at the Roost from 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. Mondays through Fridays. So a very
Wow.
late coffee drinker.
Mm.
I don't think I've
Yeah.
ever run into her, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty late shift
Yeah.
to go into the Roost for
Yeah.
sure. And Mondays through Fridays, the only other times you tend to go in that late is if you're really trying to get to that KK Slider show before he finishes performing.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
true.
Yeah, because in those
Wow.
games he ended at 12 a.m., right, Sergio?
Yes. Mhm.
Mm-hmm. So it's rare to be there. And that's a Saturday, so you're not going to catch her at that point.
Dang. So she was catching the tail end of KK's shows. Well, no, but it was Monday through Friday, so he
Right.
wouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Oh. Oh well. She just likes a late night coffee.
Yeah, I guess so. After hours. So she does appear once again in City Folk, but this time she moves to the city. So her
Yes.
shampoodle is a shop there.
Hmm.
It's pretty fitting because, like you said, she's a very stylish poodle. So I feel like the city vibe is perfect for her
Yeah.
character. Yeah. And once again, same kind of thing. You get one haircut per day for 3,000 bells. But the added thing in this game was me masks. And oh, these were horrifying.
What a good word
Ba-
for it.
Basically, you got some quote unquote makeup, and that makeup was a me mask, and you can pick any me that you had saved on your Wii, and basically you would get an Animal Crossing version, like a head of that me that you
Yes.
wear on your character, and it looks so funny.
It does.
um,
But the only time I've ever heard of someone using these me masks, like purposefully, was, people of color before the
mhm.
games let you choose your skin tone,
Oh, right, right.
unless you wanted to tan every single day. Which could you even tan in City Folk? I can't remember. I think you could.
I think you could.
Yeah. But if you didn't want to have to do that every single day, this was the only way to get your skin tone, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know Quantrell's a big fan of the me mask, and definitely along those lines as well. So, as horrifying as they are, they did have their benefits.
That's
And
true.
after you wear them enough, it does start to look a little bit more normal to you. So, it's just an adjustment going from that cute, big Animal Crossing head to this gigantic me mask on your face.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing, you could only have one me mask at a time. So if you ever wanted to change the mask that you were wearing, that would be your day of at Shampoodles. You could
Hmm.
get a new mask of a different character and then dress up with that one. But you couldn't collect more than just
Mm,
one.
right,
So
right.
yeah, single use in that sense. So from here, I guess we're moving into New Leaf. So she does make another return to New Leaf, and this time she works on Main Street, kind of the city portion of your New Leaf town, right?
Right.
Yeah.
She has a shop right above Able Sisters. Really cute location. I love those
Yes.
buildings together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just go up there, and once again, it's a lot of the same services that have been offered, but the thing that was added in this one was colored contacts. So
Yeah.
I don't think you really had any options to change your eye color at all. Like you just kind of had an eye color at the beginning, but once she shows up, you can pick the eye color that you want. So that one's pretty nifty. I definitely utilized it right away. I think I
Yeah.
had like blue eyes in my beginning of New Leaf, and I was like, that's not me.
Well, and you have to kind of grind to get it. Like it doesn't open up right away. You have to
Mm-hmm.
change your hair, I think, a certain number of times or spend a certain number of bells at Shampoodle before it opens up. Or maybe it's just a certain number of days until it opens up. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but what's also interesting is that in the Japanese release, everyone started with like the traditional black eyes that the characters
Mm,
always had, and then they switched it up in the American and European release so that depending on which character you get at the beginning of the game,
right.
the eye colors did change.
Wow. I didn't even know that. I didn't
Yeah.
know there was set to that
Yeah.
original color.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. So yeah, New Leaf, another really great little service there. All of these games, if you so I guess there were haircuts that were gender locked at that point in the game. There were
Mm.
male and female. And basically once you got all the of I guess haircuts that were associated with either gender, you could then unlock the opposite gender haircuts and use some of those. And there were a couple of the female gender ones that I was a fan of. Sometimes I would sport those for
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So,
I thought it was
yeah.
cute how they kind of changed it up so that she would ask you once you had unlocked that, she'd ask you like, are you thinking about like a drastic change? And that would like open up all
Right.
the opposite gender hairstyles, which was funny. But if you said
Mhm.
no, she'd be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," like she had like she had slighted you or something. It's
Yeah,
just I
yeah.
always really enjoyed her dialogue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm glad that they had that option. It's
Yes.
like you have to work toward it in those early
Mhm.
games, and that which is the unfortunate part, because a lot of people want to be able to have full freedom with it. I mean, but that's why we have New Horizons now. You
Yeah.
can choose any hairstyle that you like. But yeah, I'm really glad that they were still able to work that in for
Mhm.
players. Because this is just early on. The world's not the same as it used to be. So and especially like Japan is, well, I don't know. I guess I don't know what Japan's history with that is. So maybe they were more okay with it. But I remember in the States, people would be like a little bit weird about it, and I'm like, come on, you guys, this is
Yeah, we've come
haircuts.
a long way, which is really nice. Japan
Hmm.
is pretty like traditional in that respect too. They are definitely taking strides forward, but I think they're the same or if not more traditional when it comes to like gender roles in
Yeah.
Japan.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, at least Animal Crossing has been able to provide us with, an
Yeah.
Yeah.
outlet for that
Yeah.
too.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we do have a couple more appearances for Harriet throughout Nintendo. So the first one, of course, is going to be Pocket Camp. And recently, I think it was last year, there was an item that you could purchase for 300 Leaf tickets. It was Harriet Salon Station.
Oh.
So if
Hmm.
you got there are these special items that you can get for the special characters, and once you put them out in your campsite, the special characters will appear. So kind of a cool little thing that you could do. 300 Leaf tickets. Good luck getting that many. I've played Pocket Camp, and they are pretty stingy with those Leaf tickets. So uh, that's a lot of saving that you
Yeah.
got to do to get there. Um, yeah, this is one I missed. I never got to see it, but I did find that it was something you could get. Then we have some other appearances, and they're all actually Super Smash Brothers related.
Wow.
So, yeah, there was a stage in Super Smash Brothers Brawl, Wii U, and Ultimate for the Switch called Smashville, and Harriet will actually appear as a spectator in the background of that course because it does. Yeah, I mean, Smashville, it basically takes place on a floating island, and you can see the city from City Folk on that stage. So it's a fitting little location for her to show up. And, always fun to mention for Sergio's sake. Play that on Saturdays after 8 p.m.
Yes.
And we can get, our KK Slider shows in.
Yeah.
um, there was a little extra in Smash for Wii U, though. She was a collectible trophy in that game. So there were a lot of trophies that people could collect in previous Smash games, and she was one of them. So pretty cool little piece of memorabilia there. I mean, all digital. And then the last thing that she showed up was in Ultimate. She had a spirit that you could, capture and utilize in the game. So, yeah, a lot of Smash appearances for her, which is pretty cool. And then finally, we're here to New Horizons. She does not officially appear in this game, but you can get, like I said earlier, a poster for her if you scan her amiibo card over at Harv's Island. So you have options. And then I put a little note here. This is something we've talked about before as well. A little fun fact for you. Harv from the Photopia does have a crush on her. We learned this in New Leaf in the Welcome Amiibo update.
Oh,
He
makes
kind of,
sense.
yeah, yeah. So he does mention her and say, "Oh, I wonder if she's still around."
Yeah. It's really cute the
So
way he mentions her.
yeah, I love that they have a little bit of history, right?
Hmm.
So, as I mentioned, Harriet is not currently in New Horizons, but I do want to ask you both, what do you think Harriet could do if she were added in New Horizons? Sergio, do you want to kick us off here?
Yes, definitely. I think, and I actually hope that she gets added because I would expect her to come with a lot more hairstyles. And, New Horizons has a lot of them already. But if Harriet comes over, I think she would bring in the goods definitely, like big time. So it would be a lot more styles of hair, more colors. I can even see her offering hair or head related accessories
Ooh.
for any
Mm.
gender, and maybe even an option. I kind of want to see this happen where you choose your initial haircut, and as you keep playing the game, your hair actually grows and you can actually like see it in your character, and
Oh,
then
Oh.
after a month or two you're like, oh, I really need to go get a haircut.
You turn into Shep after a
Yeah.
while.
yeah.
How cute. I love that
Yeah.
idea. Hmm.
I had never thought of that, like just hair growing
Yeah.
in Animal Crossing. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Especially, like, if that just happened in general, I think that would be a really interesting thing. And it would make sense when people, just would log back in and be
Oh.
like, oh, what happened to my hair? It's been months, and apparently it's wild now.
Yeah.
Have either of you played Red Dead Redemption? I'm pretty sure your hair grows in that game.
Oh wow,
Oh,
no, I
no, I
haven't.
haven't.
And you do have to go get it cut, or or
Oh.
if you have to shave too, or your beard gets really big.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I guess, Nina, what would you like Harriet to do if she were ever added to New Horizons?
I am going to reach for the moon over here because I love Harriet and Harvey. I know some people think Harvey is creepy, but he's just a hippie who doesn't know any better. But I want them to have like a long drawn out love story where like you visit Harv's Island or you visit Harriet's shop and they tell you a little bit more every time about
Ooh.
what's going on, and maybe they start to rekindle their romance. And then next June we get a brand new wedding season update. Like,
Oh.
I love Reese and Cyrus, but their style is a little uppity for me. Like it's too fancy, too much pink and white. I know that you can like change the colors and everything, but it's still so fancy. Like I want Harriet and Harvey to have like a outdoor macrame wedding in the wilderness in front of a waterfall. I want all of the villagers to be wearing flower crowns, and Harv's little yellow birds that he likes to feed.
Ooh,
Like they
yes.
can all be like
Ah.
the bridesmaids and groomsmen. They'd just be so cute. Like, I want the wedding season to have an update because it's exactly the same as last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, there's really nothing too new with it. And I think that's a great way to, and I feel like it fits with that. Like,
Yeah.
he's already in charge of Photopia. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
He can be all embarrassed about it too. I want it. I'm gonna have to draw it now.
Yeah,
Ooh,
you
yes,
will.
do it.
Yeah, so for me, I mean, I kind of fell alongside you, Sergio, and I was just like, if she could honestly introduce so many wigs to the game. I
Yes.
think we could get tons of new hairstyles that we can buy and use. And I mean, the one thing with the wigs is like they come as an item instead, so you'd have to like put them out and everything. But
Right.
now that I think of it though, too, it'd be really cool if she brought back those mannequins or something because
Oh, yes.
yeah, we were able to get those mannequins in New Leaf and kind of create little fake characters around, and that
Yeah.
would be really nice to do again.
People have been missing those mannequins. I've seen a lot of people like dress up the dress forms to make it look like little people to be,
Mm.
I don't know, taking care of their shops or anything. But you talking about wigs and having to put them out and take care of them just reminded me of the TV show Schitt's Creek. Have you guys seen
Mm-hmm.
that? And Moira
Yeah.
has all her wigs and names them. I want Harriet to have names for all of her wigs.
Yes, they all have to have a name, and when you buy them, it has their name attached to it. This is that wig.
Yes.
Nice.
She can call us her bebes.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is Harriet. Once again, she basically got replaced by Mirror in New Horizons, but
Ugh.
I think, based on like what we know about the game, it's probably worth adding her again just to,
Yes.
give us a lot of really fresh looks for our characters and, possibly update the wedding season, make it even better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that is the history of Harriet. Let's go ahead and talk about some recent New Horizons statements made by President of Nintendo of America, Doug Bowser. So this segment is called "Is Doug Really Updating New Horizons?" I don't know if I believe it. Shortly after E3, Doug Bowser made a statement on Animal Crossing. I don't know where it really came from or if it was spurred on by any characters or anything, but he did, make a statement about the game. He said, while we didn't talk about it during the E3 Nintendo Direct and it being Animal Crossing, we absolutely have plans going forward to ensure the 33 million people who have islands out there have new and fun activities to engage with. Look for more to come. So, this probably gave some people some relief after this one, just thinking, oh, are updates for Animal Crossing over? But I did want to ask both of you, how do you interpret Doug's comments here, Sergio?
His comments remind me of next month because, Doug, you lie.
Oh!
I don't believe him.
Whoa!
Yeah, I don't believe him one bit. Honestly, I think this is something that he had to say. Imagine if he said, well, we're slowing down, but like with any negative comment, everyone would have been on him pretty badly, even more so than social media already was on Animal Crossing that week. So yeah, this is something he had to say, and honestly, I don't expect much. I think, yeah, by new experiences, he probably means items that were already set a long time ago to come out for free in the next couple of months. So, I mean, I hope I'm wrong, of course, but I think he's not telling us the whole truth.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's surprising. I don't know. I don't know how. I guess to me it feels more like PR speak. It's just a statement you make to calm people down, or just calm the angry fans.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've seen Reggie do this a million times, where
Yes.
he's getting asked over and over about Mother 3, and he's always got to say something, and I'm just like, Reggie, after all that, like, he became a master of this
Yeah.
PR statement thing. So he really, I think that's just Doug channeling his inner Reggie for me. To me, it's probably going to be small little updates until they find some way to charge us for a bigger one. Because he did specifically point out the number 33 million people who have the game.
Yeah.
I'm looking at that as like, how many of these 33 million people are going to pay $20 for an update?
Oof,
Yeah.
that's true.
We would. That's 3 right there.
3.
So, and I guess after seeing people on the internet, I feel like a lot of people really would. Like, if that's the way the game's going to get updated, they're kind of down. So, Nina, what do you think here?
Well, first of all, I don't know how much power the president of Nintendo America has over the development of Animal Crossing, which is made in Nintendo Japan.
True.
But I do like that he mentioned there are 33 million fans waiting for news. That shows that he does understand like the gravity this game has now, the power that it has. So hopefully they are looking at those numbers. If he has that number off the top of his head like that, that means they've been studying it, and hopefully that means they are looking into something, somehow cash in on those 33
Yeah,
million,
that's a good
which
point. Yeah.
go for it, man. Like my school like makes me memorize facts and numbers about my school, and I barely remember things like that. But he knew it off the top of his head. I understand he's the president and he needs to, but it's hopeful to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, with that, I mean, I do really hope. I guess I do get that hope where it's just like, oh, good. They haven't forgotten that there are a lot of us that
Yeah.
really love this game and want more out of it.
Hmm.
So who knows? I guess this kind of goes directly into my next question, actually. So, what do you think we should expect from updates after hearing this, Sergio?
I mean, I'm expecting very minor things. Like I said, I think they already have a roadmap, and they're just gonna be releasing a couple of new items here and there with the updates that come along with the seasonal events that we get, and they get taken away and then put back again. So they're just gonna use those to introduce a couple of items. I think that's what's gonna happen. But you brought up a good point about maybe they're saving something for a big update that they would actually sell as DLC. I would like to see that for sure.
Yeah, I'm all about some paid update for Animal Crossing at this point. I think they could do something really interesting. It's something we haven't seen outside of like microtransactions on Pocket Camp, And I know this is something that's been really a lot of Animal Crossing fans don't want that. And I
Hmm.
get where they're coming from, but I mean, if this is the way we got to get an update, guess I'm part of the problem now.
Yeah, and Nintendo can say we have free content because we have this couple new items here and there every 3 months. So yeah, if you want free content, you have it. If you want something more, open that
Yeah.
wallet.
Yeah. So, Nina, what do you think? Should we expect anything from these updates?
I'm still kind of holding out hope for the major holidays coming up after the summer. Summer's just boring in in Animal Crossing, and it always has been. I'm sorry, but they changed Bunny Day just a little bit. We got some new
Yeah.
things, so I'm hoping that gives us something to look forward to this fall when we get our major holidays in a row.
Yeah. Bunny Day was a strange one because, like,
Hmm.
the main event was mostly the same
Yeah.
in ways, to the point where, like, I had already done it last year. So as soon
Yes.
as I talked to him, he was like, oh, cool, you're
You're
done.
done.
And I'm not sure if that was just, like, very fitting for Zipper T Bunny because, he's pretend enthusiastic for you.
He
I'm
does
sorry,
not want to
kids,
be
but
there.
no, he doesn't like his job. He doesn't. So to some extent, it fits that character,
Yeah.
But in another, I'm just like, I didn't have to do anything for Bunny Day. But then also, I didn't have to do anything for Bunny Day. That event was, I didn't want to have to craft all those eggs
Yeah.
again. They're hideous.
Yeah.
The new items for Bunny Day at the store, though, those were wonderful.
Yeah.
I
And
like
we
those so
Yes.
much better.
we did have to log in daily to get different ones. So, I
Hmm.
mean, yes, it's kind of like a passive doing nothing, but you still had to log in to get them at least.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. So it's nice. It did give a little bit of change that still kept us playing during that week.
Hmm.
Yeah. I'm with you on this one, Sergio. I think it's going to be a lot of the same things, where it's probably just some events added along the way with some new Nook shopping items. And I guess I'm at the point where I'm not really expecting a huge update this year. Um, I know I say it a lot. I still think there's a big update in the works, but I'm not feeling it this year. I think it's going to be a next
Mm.
year type of announcement for, I don't know. It'd be cool to see an E3 announcement for Animal Crossing in
Mm.
2022. I wouldn't
Ooh.
mind that. Yeah. So I guess I want to ask you one last thing. Are you excited about any upcoming updates or things that you could foresee in the way, Sergio?
Well, based on what I'm expecting, which is very minor, I mean, sorry to say, but no, I'm not too excited. But like I said, I like to hope and I like to believe that maybe there is a chance that we'll get something more substantial, even if we have to pay for it. And if that's the case, I'm definitely excited. Whatever they charge you for, because Nintendo is pretty good at making good DLC if they charge you for it. So if we're gonna have to pay, I think it's gonna be something really good, and I'm looking forward to
Hmm.
whatever it is, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about you, Nina?
I'm not really expecting anything huge soon. Like I said before, summer is my least favorite time of Animal Crossing, and right now I'm just working on keeping the flowers at bay during the rainy season. It's been crazy. So I'm just kind of waiting out the summer and not expecting anything until hopefully fall or winter.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense for sure. And I feel like I'm at that same point in the summer I was last year. I wasn't sure I was gonna do this again, but I am thinking of like re-terraforming my island this
Mm,
summer again.
yeah.
Just like you said, there's not a lot going on the island or Animal Crossing in general during this time. There's not a lot of events or anything. And I really do like having my place set up by autumn because that's when I really want it to look, nice.
Yeah.
So, with the updates that they do have coming up, as far as like just some new items and that sort of thing, I don't mind those. I think new items are a cool way to get some inspiration for new areas that you're hoping to make, and I'll
Hmm.
be making tons of new areas when I re-terraform. So I feel like I don't need anything really huge right now. I've already kind of, like I said, gotten my expectations to be like big update next year, not so
Mm.
much this year. So I feel like I have it in me to wait a little bit longer and just see where they take the game from here.
Though, might I remind us that last June, we were feeling
Hmm.
pretty much the same way about not seeing an update for a while, and then we got gobsmacked with one of the biggest updates with two
Yes.
parts.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
there's always that air of mystery that Nintendo likes to leave around their games. So we'll see.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, 4 months for an update. Who knows what they could have pulled off in that time?
Yeah, they might have been
So
on
there.
vacation though.
From what I've heard, summer is a busy time at
Oh,
Oh,
Nintendo.
okay, good to
really?
know.
Yeah, I think that's they've got a lot of games to put out by the end of the year,
Yeah.
so
Is that what
that's when
Uncle
they put in a.
Nintendo told you?
Um, yeah, all my uncles, my aunts and uncles that are working there. But yeah, no, from what I've heard from just like people who work on like the localization team and everything, summers are basically a lot of work to get those winter games out, but then they get a nice vacation around that time of year.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and end our show with Haken's Islander Corner. For those of you who don't know, every single week we ask our patrons on Patreon a question and read their answers out loud here on the show for you all to hear. This week's question was, what's your favorite museum exhibit in New Horizons? So,
Oh.
Nina, people have been a big fan of your Nina art segment.
That's not what it's
So
called.
I mean, it's already stuck, so I don't know what to tell you. So, Nina art's very popular. People love it.
I'm so glad.
And yeah, so I thought I'd ask them, like, what is their favorite exhibit? And I guess we can go Sergio, then me, then Nina on this.
Okay.
Sounds good. So our first answer is from ZB, and they said, I love the bug exhibit, in particular the butterfly house. It's just so pretty, and the music is so soothing. For a totally different vibe, I also like watching the Beatles battle it out in the big tree.
Mm.
Yeah. No, I mean the butterfly house. It's something else, really. The game is really pretty. The museum is the prettiest, but the butterfly house. Oh man, that's something else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's not a room I expected them to commit to, but I'm
Yeah.
Yes.
really glad they did.
Mm. Especially once it's full. It's incredible once it's
Yes.
full.
Hmm. So much to look at.
Mm-hmm.
So our next answer is from Movie Skink, and they said, I have a degree in art history, so no surprise, the art gallery is my favorite. It's so beautiful, and it's been extra satisfying and frustrating to collect. One of my jock villagers, Samson, was running in the gallery once, and he begged me not to tell Blather. So adorable.
Oh,
Also, I've really enjoyed Nina's deep dives into the pieces on display in our museums.
oh man, coming from an art history major, that's a big compliment. So thank you. I feel like I'm always either lecturing or boring. So thank you.
No, people are loving it. Mean art is here to stay.
Yay.
Yeah, and that's really cute. That little interaction with Samson. That's
Yeah,
adorable.
I haven't
Yes.
had that interaction. I wonder if it's only jock characters. That sounds
Mm-hmm.
adorable.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Summon Sloth says the aquarium as a whole is nice to look at, and I especially like the jellyfish section. That's true that you can like walk
Yes.
over that little like circular, clear glass, and you can see down
Yes.
into the jellyfish. Mm.
I have a
It's-
question. Would both of you actually like walk on those in real life?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Some people are just like so afraid of that.
Yeah.
Like, like you're walking on glass and that sort of thing. And I'm like, yeah, it's a thick piece of glass. You're going to be all right.
Yeah. You guys need to come to
Uh,
Atlanta and see our aquarium. They have like
I've
big
heard
tunnels
great
you can go
things.
through. Yeah.
I'm down. When I
Mhm.
visit you, I'll go.
Yeah. I don't support the dolphins being there, but that's
Yeah.
another. We'll talk about that another day.
Yeah. Some animals should not be in those things.
Nice. So Kate said, it's the art exhibit for me. I really like looking at all the pieces and looking up each piece after I acquire it. Plus, I like that Red only comes occasionally, so it's fun when he does come and has something new. Nina's dives into the art are awesome. Yeah, that's true, and it's a good point because it's usually gonna be the one that takes the longest to complete.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
Yeah, it's the one that just like keeps the game going for you. Like it just gives
Right.
you that like, oh, if I log in, this could be the day. Maybe that Red is here and he's got what I need, Just that little spark. It feels nice.
Well, and he's like supposed to be like slippery. You can't get all of the art really easily, or it's not red.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's got to be a scheme. There's always got to be a scheme. So Nebula said, definitely the bugs. Sitting in the butterfly room is still magical, and the ambient insect sounds in the main exhibit area are so calming, at least to me. And I agree with that. I've had
Mhm.
days where I just like kind of walk into that space and set my camera up in a really nice view and just watch the scenery in that section.
Yeah, and it's very dynamic. It changes so much with the sunlight, the weather that's happening in your island. It's so pretty.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful.
They nailed the lighting in this game.
Yes. Yes.
Quantrell says, as usual, the best exhibit is always the bug exhibit. It's always the most interesting in terms of atmosphere, sounds, and how the bugs will sometimes interact with each other.
Ah,
So,
true.
Yeah, it seems like a big consensus that everybody loves the bugs, except
Yeah,
the
the
bladders.
bugs are popular. I just noticed that. That's hilarious. People love the bug exhibits, but Blathers does not. Maybe that's the strategy. Blathers is like the more people who come here, the more these bugs get smushed.
Oh,
So he's just trying to get rid of them all. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Haken, an Animal Crossing podcast. Don't want the episode to end? Well, you can keep the conversation going by Nintendo switching over to our Discord. Just follow the link in the description, and you can talk with other people who love Animal Crossing as much as you do, including Sergio, Nina, and me. Want to support the show in a bigger way and get your voice heard during the show? Visit patreon.com/ChuiPlaysNintendo. You can support our show with just $1, get special access to a secret room on Discord, join in on the Haken Islander Corner, and even read a monthly newsletter covering all things Haken and Chuy Plays. We really appreciate the support and put your money towards some great things on the show. Tuned in on YouTube? The comments are a great place to let us know your answers to the Haken Islander Corner. What's your favorite museum exhibit in New Horizons? If you dig what you hear, please KK slide over to that review section on your platform of choice. Let people know what they're missing out on. Haken is a wild production brought to you by Chuy, Sergio, Nina, and all of our patrons. We thank you for listening, and we hope you have a great week.
Goodbye, everybody.
See you all next time.